Introduce our special guest, Vanessa from LA.
It's gonna drive me crazy. My name's Vanessa. I'm an alcoholic.
Vanessa.
And that special guest stuff is way overrated. Because what I got here, this is what they shared with me. There are no big shots or little shots in Alcoholics Anonymous. One shot and we all the fuck up out of here, right? So it's an even score. It's an even score. If you're new, I'd like to welcome you to the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and assure you that it works well a day at a time. And I'm just share some things because I noticed we have quite a few newcomers that they share with me. I've been here a couple days and I don't care what meeting I go to, you always find me in the first or second row. And here's why. Because what happens when I'm sitting in the back, see, if you're an alcoholic of my type, I'm easily distracted. So everybody walking in, talking, and then but then I don't hear nothing. It's hard to hear if I'm, you know? And no disrespect, but where I come from, they call that back row death row. Usually it's like I'm sitting back there and I might be on my way out. So it's real important. I'm just sharing with you what they shared with me, and it worked. That if you knew, you may want to sit up front just because it kind of helps. Kind of helps you focus on the speaker, kind of helps you hear. And you ain't got to care about what they're talking about. It don't matter. You just keep coming back. You train your feet in Alcoholics Anonymous. Sometimes you come to meetings and you get a lot, and sometimes you come, your character assassinating everybody, you don't hear shit, but it don't matter. Your feet are trained in Alcoholics Anonymous, and you hear anyway. And then one day you look up and you damn sober. It's amazing. I can't tell you why. I just know it happens. It's like, damn, what the hell? Because I just kept doing what they said do. And then, you know, I looked up one day and my whole life was different, right? And because we clean up well, I want to make sure you know I drank like you drank. So I'm going to make sure I tell you about that part, right? I'm a real alcoholic. I do it till the wheels fall off. I ain't no middle of the road, teetotaler drinking kind of girl. You know, if you trying to get me drunk and take advantage of me, you probably gonna get broke because I'm drinking as long as you're drinking. You have one and so shall I. Right? And so here's who I am when I got here. All Vanessa's self-worth was outside of Vanessa. I come here, no self-esteem, just low self-esteem, and I don't realize any of that. I mean, if you knew that stuff sound like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 what are they talking about? It makes no sense. I drank because I like to drink. I mean, who wouldn't like to spend all their goddamn money? I mean, you know, get paid on Friday, broke on Saturday. Don't that shit sound like fun? I mean, I drink because I want to. I don't drink because I have to. I'm grown. I'm just doing what I want to do. Right? Right? And I like what you all read. Faulty emotional appeal southern suffices. Now, what that means is you can't beg me sober, you can't cry me sober, you can't plead me sober, you can't cuss me out sober. I don't give a damn how you treat me, what you think. That will not get me sober. I got to be tired. I got to get done. That's how I get sober, right? Because I love you. I love you with everything in me. I mean it this time. I'm coming right back. For real, I'm just going to happy hour. I'm coming right back. And the cold piece is that I believe it. I believe it with everything in me. This time I am coming right back. I don't know, last call for alcohol, I don't know how that shit happened. right now, and I just met my new best friends, you know, Killer and Smoke, and they say, come on, if you go over here, you can keep doing that. How the hell I don't go, right? So now it's Friday when I left, I'm coming right back, now it's Sunday, and I come in and you want to talk about it. You ask me impossible shit like, why? Shit, if I knew why, I would have came back, right? Right, really, I mean, I'm doing the best I can based on what I got to work with. I really am. I love you. I don't mean to keep doing this. I can't figure this shit out myself, right? So now you ask me why, if you like me, now I got to get an attitude because that shit's way too much. I talk shit about how I'm grown. I get to do what I want. Don't tell me what to do because I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to make this right. I just keep doing what I do because this is what I do. Because that's the way I live, and that's never my intent. This was not the plan. Right? Because I'm kind of half-ass smart, which will kill you. Because when you're smart, you can't hear shit. You always rationalize and justifying everything that happened. And so it makes it hard for people to share information with you. Because when they talking, you thinking. You know, and so it's like you can't hear when you're thinking all the damn time. But anyway, I'm all over the place. It's probably where I'm going to be. And you know, and I'll share with you if you know, I talked about this a lot because it don't matter how I feel. I absolutely love sports. My favorite sport is basketball. For you all who do not like sports, it is the playoffs. When I walked in here, Boston and the Washington had just tied the game up and they were going into overtime. I really am interested in your sobriety, but then I became more interested in that basketball game, right? It's like, God damn it, are you serious? I got to speak tonight. The Warriors about to play afterwards. But they gonna still be playing, and the only way I know to stay sober is I got to show up, right? So I was like, damn it, I hope I take that game. So, because in my whole point to it, it don't matter how I feel, it don't matter what I think, it just matters what I do. So it's like when I make a commitment, that means I show up. I don't get to say where I'm meant to be there. I'm the coffee person, and I told Joe to do it, or I got busy. It's like a commitment means that I show up. So I'm committed. I show up, and I'm taping the game. I'm cutting my phone off. I don't want to see the score and deprive myself of the thrill of watching it. That kind of thing. So I'll go back to who I am so you'll know. I get here with no self-esteem, not low self-esteem, pretty much no self-esteem, which means that I will do anything so I can get your love and your approval. I don't think that's what I'm doing, because I think I do what I do because I do what I do, right? And I don't realize that's who I am when I get here, because under the influence of alcohol, that's not who I see me as. I see me as this strong, courageous person that does what I want to do when I want to do it. And the thing is, I get here and you take the alcohol away, and now I got this itchy, crawly feeling over me all the time, right? I'm the kind of alcoholic, I need a drink to go to the party, because I just need permission to be with you. It's like, other than that, I'm always uncomfortable. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to act? And the only reason I care about all that is because I don't think I'm enough. Because if I'm enough, then I'll have to keep changing to get permission to be all right to be with you. But I don't know none of that until I keep coming back. I think that, I'm just being me, right? And so I'm always adjusting Vanessa so you can love me. Here, look at me. Is that enough? Should I do this? What should I do so I could be okay with you? Until I take a drink. And I don't give a shit what you think or how you feel. I drink enough, and I am the prize. And you ought to be glad to be with me, and your behavior should reflect that. Then you take the drink away, now what I'm supposed to do with all these feelings? I ain't never had a feeling a drink wouldn't fix. And I ain't never trying to get drunk, right? All I'm trying to do is just take the edge off, just to get permission to just get that, it's all right now, baby. Just that feeling. Problem is, I have a tendency to overshoot the mark. I'm trying to get there, and the next thing you know, I'm drunk. And I ain't trying to be drunk. That ain't what I was looking for. My problem is, I don't know I'm finished till the bottle's empty. And that's the way I drank. That's the way I've always drank. I was 16 years old, ditching school in the 11th grade. And this is the way it worked. My friends, it's like before, I was a great student, but what happened is that I got in an accident when I was in the 10th grade. I played basketball, and my parents thought they were doing the right thing, and they were trying to give me this large settlement because it was a really bad accident. But when you're young, you heal quickly, and so they stopped me from playing basketball so I could get this big settlement. That ain't why I'm an alcoholic. I'm just telling you my story, and it ain't their fault. They did what they thought was right at the time. And so when you took away my reason for being in school, I started hanging out on the auditorium steps at Dorsey buying dollar joints, and whoever mother was at work, that became the party house. And I don't know how you and your friends do it. I got $5, how much you got, what we gonna do? And food is never part of that equation. We gonna do a lot of things with that $5, but ain't nobody thinking about food, right? And so you 16 years old at somebody's parents' house with vodka and pink lemonade. We call it pink panties. You're drinking that shit all day out of Kool-Aid glasses with no food. Chances are you gonna end up drunk. And I don't know what kind of parents you have. My mother was one of them good old Southern girls. My parents both, she did not read that Dr. Spock Time Out shit. I wish somebody would have gave her the book. And she didn't. She wasn't the kind of person that abuses or beats, but she's a little bitty thing too. But you knew. She looked up, and you just knew. Maybe, just maybe, she's had enough, right? And so I knew my job was, I was the oldest, the only girl, get home, get dinner started. Both my parents worked, and then get me and my brother started on our homework. And so it's time for me to get home, right? And I'm on Broadway and Vernon. There used to be a gas station there. I was raised like on Vernon and 3rd in LA. Vernon and 3rd Avenue in that area. And so I'm trying to go home. I go in that bathroom at 16 years old at the gas station to throw water on my face to try and wake up because I know I got to get home. She don't play. And so I wake up 3 hours later and I'm still hugging the sink. Now you would think after that's the first time I get drunk. Something should tell you maybe you shouldn't drink. That's not what I said. You know, my father was an alcoholic. His behavior I was ashamed of his behavior. He was a vodka drinker. And so what I said is I should never drink clear alcohol again. You know, not that I ever held up to it, but I mean, that was the theory at the time. If I just don't drink clear alcohol, then all of this will work. And so, you know, unfortunately, if you're an alcoholic of my type, my life is, a lot of things are happening, but I never related to alcohol. You know what I mean? It's like they say a alcoholic and a non-alcoholic get arrested at Christmas. And the alcoholic tells the police officer, you know, officer, I am so sorry. I knew I shouldn't have had that last drink. The non-alcoholic say, I knew I shouldn't have had the last drink, right? The alcoholic say, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have turned down Rose Cran. You know, because there's no correlation to what's going on in my life and my drinking. There's a lot of problems, but it's never my drinking. If you're an alcoholic of my type, drinking is my solution. You know, something happened, I take a drink. I want to feel happy, I take a drink. It's sad, I take a drink. You know, and I'm a garbage can. You say less, I say do it. It's only through God's grace and mercy that I'm able to even have a full-fledged conversation with you based on how I treated me. You know, I can remember back in the day they was having them Boosie Collins funk festivals at the Coliseum, you know, and people doing sitting there that immediately start taking their clothes off in front of everybody. Now you see, you somewhere with 40,000, 25,000 people and you see somebody do something and immediately get buck naked. Common sense should tell you don't try that shit. You know? How about I ain't that smart? It's like my mind say just don't puff it that hard, right? And if you knew I'm an alcoholic, right? I respect Alcoholics Anonymous, but I was just a garbage can. I ain't had enough sense to say no. You know, I ain't had enough sense to say, well, you know, usually afterwards, like, what did we just do? It's like way after I'm done with it, right? But I'm really clear it started and ended with a drink. What alcohol does for me, it removes the will to care. You know, it's like at first when I tell you I'm coming back, I mean it with everything in me. I love you. I don't want to treat you like this anymore. And then I get drunk and I come home and all that shit I said becomes yesterday's news. Because once I start drinking, all bets are off. You know, I mean to do right. You know, I always have good intentions. But when I take a drink, I can't guarantee it. I don't never know what's going to happen. Sometimes I do come right back. Because I'm an alcoholic, right? But I don't know. We rolling the dice every goddamn time. We hope I come back. I hope I come back. But when we ain't sure, we don't know how this story gonna end. And that's the cold piece about it. And even with that, I drink again. Even with that, I drink again, right? So it's the 80s, and I'm the only girl, and so I'm telling you what I'm doing. When they take me from playing basketball, I stopped. This is late 70s. I stopped going to school. So I end up ditching the whole second semester of the 11th grade. My parents are from Texas. We go home to visit my grandmother every summer. My mother gets my report card. She threatens to kill me when I get back, but really she was just hurt. And so when I come back, I start going to Freeman Occupational Center and taking classes on the weekend and going to school, and I end up getting this certificate in grocery checking, and I start working at ABC Markets on 108th and Main, and it's 1979, and I'm making $10.50 an hour, and that was a hell of a lot of money then, and I got the best friends money could pay for, you know, because that's the way I am. I'm a high-siding kind of girl, you know. I'm got money, talking trash, and all that kind of stuff. I end up graduating, right? And in the early 80s, there was a lot of stuff going on. They had this weight control stuff, you know. You look up, you ain't got no weight. And I'm drinking, and I'm on this diet program. And it's crazy, right? Leave house on Friday and roll back in on Sunday, and I ain't slept. And I'm in one of the relationships that's not going so well. And I tell my partner, you act like I want you to act, or I'm going in the Marine Corps. And I'm going in the service. I'm going in the Army. Now, I ain't really serious. I just need some leverage. And so I end up on 43rd and Crenshaw. There was a Marine Corps recruiting station. I go in there asking them, where's the Army recruiting station? It's actually right around the corner, right? And he said, you graduate high school? Yeah. You ever been to jail? No. Sit down. Let's talk, right? And so I ain't serious anyway. I just need something to bring home so it looks like I was serious. And needless to say, I spent the next 7 years in the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, do or die. I was an AJ squared away Marine. I love the Marine Corps. I love the Marine Corps. Absolutely loved it with everything in me, but not enough to stay sober. You know, when they kicked me out because they decided my drugs and alcohol was no longer conducive to a military life, I had my pro and cons were 4.8, 4.9. The highest you can have is 5.0, because that's who I am. You tell me what the rules are, and I can assimilate and play any game that's necessary, and it'll look like I'm doing well. I thought I was doing well, right? I'm stationed in Camp Pendleton. I'm a AJ squared away Marine from 7 to 4:30, and then doing things that make you go bumping the night all night long and rolling back on base the next day. And what happened is that on a Friday, they came and tested us, and when you're in the service, they have a bathroom just like that. You line up, they'll come in a room like this and say, everybody's Social Security, your number ending in 1. Today's your day. We don't get to debate it. We don't get to talk about it. You just get to give your contribution. And I got kind of good at the game. I would tell them, you know, I was like, damn, you got to hate this job. They call it the psycho officer, substance abuse. You got to hate this, watching people piss all day. You know, what kind of job is that? Corporal, well, we know you're not doing nothing. You can close the door. And so I give them about that much urine and that much water. And I leave it dripping so they wouldn't want to touch it because the temperature would be off. And they just tell me to drop it in a box. And what happened is they tested me on a Friday and they doubled back and tested us on a Monday. And it had been one of them kind of weekends. And I knew when I gave them the sample, my mixture was off. I was tired. I was tired. It wasn't nothing fun about it toward the end. I'm just doing it, but it ain't fun no more. It's a damn job, right? I know them, but I'm just tired. I don't want to do this no more. But I can't stop. There ain't nothing worse than wanting to be done and can't get done. That's a cold piece, right? And they kicked me out. And I ended up getting the job I have today. And the book says is that, see, I got a bad case of the come-ups. What happens is that I rejuvenate well. And so I get the job I have today, and the way the book says is that I cannot recall with sufficient force the humiliation of a week or a day ago, so I drink again. I forget what it feels like when it feels bad. And you know, so I'll just shake it off and then I drink again. So I get the job I have today, and basically what happened is that, you know, I promised God and myself I ain't doing nothing no more. I'm going to square the hell up like nobody's business. And I can't tell you, I'm working in aerospace. At the time, we had 20,000 employees. I can't tell you how it is where you're in a place with 20,000 employees and I find people who drink and do lines of crystal in the bathroom. Because I don't give a damn if you drop me off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's like a radar. I'm going to find my kind. You know, I'm going to hit the corner. There y'all go. Right? And what happened, I was a union steward at the time, and basically I'm your public defender. You lie. You know, you get in trouble when I lie and tell them you ain't going to do it no more. And this guy had got his check. We work in aerospace. We used to get this vacation check once a year. He got his vacation and sick pay, and he went and locked himself in a motel room for 3 days with a $1,000 check, and he came out looking like you do if you lock yourself up somewhere with $1,000 and emerged 3 days later. And they were going to fire him. And so I called our EAP and asked him could we make an appointment for him, and they said if he's serious, have him call. And I said, well, can I make an appointment? And I know there's a God and I'm not it, because there was absolutely nothing going on in my life that said get sober. I know nobody sober. You know, when you kid here, we say change their playmates and playgrounds, and it gets really easy if you anything like me, right? Because this is my friends. I got $5. How much you got? What we gonna do? Now, if I ain't kicking my $5 in, our conversation get real short. we ain't got no more. We ain't nothing for us to talk about. Our life is so different. You just look up one day if you serious about this, and everybody you know is sober, because we ain't doing the same thing. So our whole life and where we at are changing, right? And so I said, well, okay, I want to make an appointment. And again, I don't know where they came from, because I know nobody's sober. It's only by the grace of God. I was drinking and using less than I ever had in my life. It's God said, look, enough, my child. I'm gonna let you try this. And I had went to the guy, and he did this little intake. And I don't know how much I told him I was drinking. I'm sure I lied, but whatever I told him obviously alarmed him, and he suggested that I come back. And it was on a Monday. And I told him I would come back, but I never did. And he called me on a Thursday. I worked second shift at the time. And I was drinking a beer and smoking a joint and getting ready for work. And he called and said, "So what happened to you?" And I'm like, "God damn it, now they watching me," right? You know? And he said, "You gonna come?" And I said it was an outpatient program. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come Monday." And I got up that Monday, and I had a few roaches left, and I usually break them up and, finish the last of it. And I said, I ain't never tried anything 100%, and I ain't never threw nothing away, and I flushed it. And from that way, day to this, I haven't found it necessary to do anything that affects me from the neck up. I mean, life show up unannounced and without my permissions more time than I'm comfortable with. People die, relationships fail, it's football season, that Miller highlight with that cold foamy shit on there on the commercial, look damn good. It ain't got to be no big time stuff. I mean, all that, and it's like, okay, you stay sober no matter what. It's like, where I'm from, and they don't cut no punches, right? Somebody parent died, and they say, "Oh, I drank because my mother died." It's like, well, how's she doing now? I mean, seriously, that's where I'm from. That's the people I got sober with. It's like, okay, okay, now what? I'm sorry that happened, but now what? It's like, now what? And we talk about the 6th and 7th step, right? It says, that's a tradition. Became willing. See, usually my ego will have me reading them along, somewhere over there. Somebody read the 6th one for me.
Entirely ready to
right.
God remove all these defects and character.
Right, and humbly ask him to remove my shortcomings, right? And Bill just like to play on words. If you look it up in a defect, it'll say a shortcoming. And you look up a shortcoming, it'll say a defect of character, right? And the truth is when I got here, I didn't have either. It's like, ain't shit wrong with me or my thinking or what I do. And so it has to happen, because if you said, Vanessa, you probably shouldn't have talked to John like that. What I hear you saying is that Vanessa is broken. You know what I mean? Because everything that's wrong with me, if you say something's wrong with me, or I see a defect when I'm new, I think what you're saying is I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm broken. And so it took a lot of keep coming back to see the truth about my life and who I am. And I'd like to say angelically I just became better over time. That's not my truth. What makes me change is pain. What happens is that I keep coming back and I start practicing some of these principles in my life, and so it's no longer okay to cuss you out. And not because I'm so, it's like, okay, I cussed you this time, and I start to get this funny feeling. It's like, what the hell are these people doing to me? I used to cuss people out and not even think twice about it. Now they did some shit, and I'm actually thought about, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's like what happens is that I come back and then I start to see the truth about my behavior, and I start rationalizing, justifying everything that I do. I'm no longer the victim. You didn't make me cuss you out. If you wouldn't have said that to me, I wouldn't have said that to you. At some point, I keep coming back, and then I have to look at my own behavior and stop holding you accountable for my actions. When I'm new, it's everybody's fault. And so I'm doing the best I can. I'm one big defect because I don't know what else to do. I got all these feelings. I used to get to drink at them. I used to get to do something with them. And now they show up, and it's like all I know to do is act the hell out. Go buy something, eat something, do something, but just don't let me have to feel this shit, right? And then I keep coming back, and my chief defects was self-rationalization and self-justification, which means that every time something happened, I found a way to be right. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do nothing. Let me tell you what they did to me. You just don't understand, and then I keep coming back, and I hear myself. It's like, well, wait a minute. If I'm cussing everybody in the room out, everybody's doing something to me, at some point I have to look at the common denominator. How is it I've talked to 50 people and everybody done something to me, and the only common factor in there is me? At some point I have to look at my behavior and how I'm acting. And my other one is control. I'm running the guy's suit. I think I know what's best for everybody. My nephews used to see me coming. They said, "Oh shit, they scatter like ants. Here come the CIA." You know, she answering 99 damn questions, interrogating everybody, because I think I know what's best for your life. I'm sitting in Alcoholics Anonymous, but I know what's best for you, right? You know, and so it's like my chief was control, and it's like it's generated from fear. You know what I mean? It's like I can't drink now. I need everything around me to be perfect. You know, I can't let nobody get in, because I don't want to have to feel nothing. I don't want my turn at life. I need everything to line up perfectly so I don't have to deal with no feelings. And it's not real, but I sure try hard to keep it like that. You know, if everybody just does what I need them to do, I'll be okay. You know, and so I'm always trying to align the pieces so I can be comfortable. And really the truth is, it's like my oldest brother that's under me, he likes to drink a lot, right? Now, if you talk to me initially, I would tell you I didn't want him drinking because, you know, I really want him to be sober, and that has some truth.